Hi, this is Kim, or Adverse Camber 42, continuing my playthrough of Disco Elysium on PlayStation 5. Oh, and I've just noticed, according to my chat as well, that apparently it's my first anniversary of being a Twitch affiliate. So there you go, let's share that little party hat in the chat, if it'll let me. Yeah! Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you, Info. And hi, Info. Hope you're doing okay. Okay, let's get going while enjoying our affiliate anniversary, apparently. With an affiliate anniversary let's play of Disco Elysium. So last time we discovered that Raphael's true name is Harriet Dubois. We also got the cassette of the Saddest Church in Sonsain, or whatever it's called, so we can do the karaoke, but we were advised to wait till night. In actual plot, we discovered this little fishing village. We learnt from the Hardy boys that the woman staying in the room next to ours, Clagier, was potentially sexually assaulted by the hanged man, though that woman denies this vehemently, so we've still got a bit of contradiction and mystery going. So, let's have a little look around the fishing village while we wait for night to fall, because of course, more importantly, we want to sing that karaoke. Can we get around to that lady? Is it a lady over there? I think it is. Okay. What are these doing in the fish? What is what? Oh, some boots. Okay. This boat is floating freely in the water, unmoored. The planks creak beneath your weight. The ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. Aww. Okay, let's keep exploring, keep gathering money.
Hi, officer.
A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in a scabbard hangs from her hip.
Anything I can help you with?
That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
As always, I am the Lawbringer.
You've graduated to Lawbringer now?
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed about anything.
She waves you off.
So what brings you here, Lawbringer?
I have questions. The first is, what is your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Nice sword. I point at the sabre at her hip. Does it come with a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
Hold on. Do you know how to use it?
Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective?
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Show her the wonder. Coach means the expression.
Behold, I point to the expression on my face. Her eyes meet yours. Suddenly she starts laughing. It's hoarse, as if she hasn't laughed for a while.
Not bad.
Do you like it?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
Can I borrow the sword?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I use to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
Is she flirting with you? A little? You think she might be.
So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Wait, why, if they're thick-headed?
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
Her expression doesn't change. It's hard to say if it's a joke.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
The harbour seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Rivershot. Some inanimate, some just no longer alive. You shudder.
He disappeared? That sounds like a missing persons case.
It absolutely does not. We are not going to look for him.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves.
That's bad. Oh no. Let's go for the polite one. Oh.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Time really is the best cure for sorrow, isn't it?
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glanced at the village where 2 little kids are playing with what look like rocks.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Now there's an idea, Electrichem.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Well, if Necktie says it's the right thing to do. My odds are so low. Okay. We could do without Kim being there, and we need to explore the coast. Okay, we'll explore before we try that horrifying roll. Here's a white check, it's retriable. But we won't risk it. We get a lot of points for exploring the area there. I'm looking for someone, maybe you can help.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for missing cryptozoologists.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for animals who are hard to find.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I haven't heard about those.
2 odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Wait, the like?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men, burning rhinos. You get the picture.
Where'd they go?
Don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
A working-class husband.
Yeah, I'm not really looking for that anymore. Not much into the middle-class ones either. Could do with some landed gentry, but apparently they don't make those anymore.
The husband isn't for me. I'm looking for him for his wife.
I wish I could help you with that, but I haven't seen your working-class husband. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
She seems genuinely sorry for not being able to help you.
That's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
I was asked to get your signature. I hand her Everett's envelope.
Were you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building?
Everett's planning to turn some of the village into a youth centre.
What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that
Thought what exactly?
Everard and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess Union members have children too.
What's your feeling, guys? Should we actually be getting these signatures for Everett? Wimpo says no. Okay. On second thought, don't sign the papers.
Aye, if you say so. Probably better that way. I mean, who likes construction noise?
What you do around here?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
What else?
I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic Insular Indian cuisine.
Is it enough to make a living?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Interesting. What have you found?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Hard. I need to know about those human bodies.
Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. Very unattractive bunch.
Yeah, maybe stay clear of the things reminded her of the floater she used to be married to. Just saying.
Oh, suggestion. Where's the fun in that? So I take it that's your skiff. I point at the overturned boat.
Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Sunny days? I put my hand in the rain.
Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the rain streaming down the yellow belly of the boat.
When do you think the boat will be ready?
In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she will be ready.
Waves wash the sand. A skiff moves across the mirror-smooth sea, far away from here. A lone passenger, a fast sloop in the distance. White sails.
Okay. We don't want to try the roll for now, so we'll just leave her be. We'll try and seduce her when we've explored down the coast. It's locked tight. You can't see into the house from this angle. Well, that was informative. The woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed. Is that Frere Jacques? Yeah, Frere Jacques. An odd melody, apparently.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
If you can't see, then how did you know I was here?
I still have a golden ear. Come, come.
I lean forward.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Trouble? Say the second thing, Bratan. Shows you got style.
Well, we always do what the necktie tells us. We are cops! We are hellraisers! Click, click, bang, bang!
No, you're not. I've seen you around here before. 12 years ago. You didn't raise any hell. You were quite helpful, actually. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Wait, I've been here before?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another, locked himself in that woodshed over there.
She points to the building behind her.
He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
What kind of ill omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
I am an ill omen, all right.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
Maybe they are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Where could someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
Her soapy thumb points to the building behind her. How much is it?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
Wait, hold on, you're just giving it to me?
No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. You can stay there.
I'm not sure it's appropriate for the RCM to accept free accommodation.
Oh, don't. It's your choice. No skin off my teeth.
Wait, why isn't anyone using the room?
My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm.
You got yourself a new tenant. I get the keys to my new home.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the place.
A key appears under her apron. She hands it to you.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing, and one thing only. Drinking.
Finally, you have those lame-os of Martinez off your back, Bratan. This looks like a great place to bring chicks.
Well, if the Necktie approves. What is this fishing village?
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
What do you mean?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
There's got to be something here. Tell me.
Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pots.
Between here and Jamrock, a dusty sea of old trees, all covered in industrial soot. Small houses under them, an overgrown park.
The pox? What's that?
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses, shacks as far as the eye can see.
What happened to the hospital?
The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Who else lives in this village?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they're away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
I met Lillian already.
Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left.
I haven't seen any drunks yet, though.
Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys.
Is there a way to make a little money around here?
Here? For you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
All right, there's another topic I'd like to address.
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, they've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
I have a feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting, even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Perhaps the mysterious music is somehow connected to the case. A Rusalka or a half-demonic Apsara singing.
What else is down the coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, Was born in Samara.
Anything else of note?
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
Who'd want to come to a fish market here?
No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
That's it? There's got to be more along the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
She drops a bar of soap into her bucket with a splash. Tell me about yourself. Who exactly are you here?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr.
My name is Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
Your parents must have had big plans for you. Wonder if you measured up.
The question must be prompted by your sloppy posture. Straighten your back, man.
Okay, info's requested we don't get Averart's signatures, so we'll fuck off. So I'm guessing this is my new house?
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
I unlocked the shack door with my key.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the Whirling-In-Rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
And I do.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
No time to rest yet. You see waves, the sea, a church. Old science fiction magazine, books about birdwatching, an almanac from 39.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Is shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy.
Okay, guys, I'll leave this one to you as well. Do we want to get rid of his beard? Or leave it as it is? Info says keep the beard. Okay, we keep the beard. The floorboards creak under your step. Intricate heat hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum.
I listen.
The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
What is this place to you?
It's free, and that's good enough. I could live here.
Waves crash onto the beach, drowning the reeds. Far to the south, a congregation gathers to a soup kitchen in a shelter for the homeless. An old woman gives out knitted scarves for free. This could have been you. This could still be you. A down-on-his-luck nobody, trying to survive.
Thank you, strange sensation, for a fair assessment of the current situation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Look under the floorboards.
Floorboards. How? How do I look under the floorboards? Do we look at that? Oh yeah, that's the mirror.
Hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression.
Oh, we keep the expression for sure. Wonder where these floorboards are meant to be looking under are. Oh well, let's leave for now. Inside you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. Okay, let's see if we can find these drunks and stuff. The street sign is illegible below the graffito. A flower trough where nothing really grows, maybe in the spring. Hard to see the details, the colours all worn and welcoming are cozy though. It feels safe and warm in here, not like outside. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Okay, that kid's the only thing.
Hello, mister.
A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She's looking at you with frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
Yes, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mum is great. She's never angry or anything.
What's that? I point at the stuffed bird hanging from the ceiling.
It's a grouse.
She yelps, smiling broadly.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken skewer you almost certainly broke.
Yes, but what's it for?
I don't know.
Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure, just go and get it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
What's that thing you're holding? I pointed to a toy.
It's Lammy. He's my friend.
She holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Okay. Well, pleased to meet you, Lambie.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy.
Goodbye.
Bye!
The girl's large, curious eyes remain fixed upon you. Where's me bird? Did I pick it up automatically? Ah, no, there it is. A ruffled grouse taxidermy. Wonder if Garter will like his new friend. Oh, are these my drunks? Or are these kids?
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old.
Nope, kids.
The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
You must be Lillian's twins.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
Explains the other one, tongue still lolling out of his mouth. I already said that.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Maybe there's some kind of reason why they're laughing. An interesting reason, somehow tied to the case.
What are you laughing about?
The boy stops laughing and looks at his toes. Oh, okay. So now he's shy. Now he's not talking. Just wobbling around like he's afraid of something.
Is little Lily your sister? I point to the house.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
That's it? You're being laconic about it?
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
The other one says. Yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt.
You're bad with kids.
The lieutenant remarks with evident glee. And what are you, Kidmaster General?
Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
Children are stupid. The scruffy-haired kid laughs as though in agreement.
You're stupid.
The other one tells him, suddenly very serious. Okay, how about the policeman asks you something else now?
Okay.
Bye, kids. Take care. What we got in here? This place is good for petty cash. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. Something else over there? Oh, he doesn't seem to want to look at it. Fair enough. Okay, this must be my
You
drunks.
stop mid-step and put your hand on a garish necktie.
That bottle, Bratan! Just look at that bottle!
Where? Bottle? What?
In this drunk's hand, on the pipe there, glowing blue, a mysterious, otherworldly blue. filled to the brim with holy mysteries. It's hard to know what exactly your vivid interior is speaking of here, but I'm guessing it's got a lot of alcohol in it.
Okay, cool. What do I do next?
Oh, I think this is about so much more than cool. Please go talk to him. See what it's about. I'm drawn to it.
You're the boss, Necktie.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy?
Good to see you too, friend.
So what do you want? I've got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I've got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
See? There it is, Bratushka. The spirit. Let's buy the spirit. 300 real is a lot, but this has to be done. It's our end game.
This is the mystery and the truth. I need to buy that spirit.
Exactly! This is no ordinary drink. It's what our relationship has been building towards all these years. This is the climax, the mystery, the virginal sigh. That drink is special. You have to buy it from him. Get it off him. Kill him if you have to. Our ultimate fate depends on it. And the fate of many worlds.
The lieutenant looks at you, looking at the bottle of spirits, then at Rosemary, suspiciously.
Amphetamines?
Hi, by amphetamine I mean speed.
I thought by speed you meant amphetamine.
Hi, it's what I said.
Right, I got it.
Good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Quite the business venture you've set up here.
Oh, the system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard.
What do you mean?
You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor ex-squeeze, sold 2 to the fellows around here, and immediately invested the profit. Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now, I've got everyone on my hook.
He spreads his arms and smiles a crooked, toothless smile. Looks like you're on your own hook, too.
Of course. It is what it is, you know. What it's always been. People, buddy boy. It's the people.
Why does the bottle of spirits cost 300 real?
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture.
Okay, I nod and let him speak.
You know, it's funny, actually.
He bursts out laughing, then takes 3 gulps of his Pilsner and stares at you intently.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What is?
What?
What do you mean, what? What did you think was funny earlier?
This guy.
He shakes his index finger at you.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Where did you get the bottle of spirits from?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office.
He ain't shitting you! Medicinal spirits are a blast, Bratan! The flaming truth of this joke of a world!
I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink.
He spits a nasty yellow clot onto the ground before you.
Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go.
That's a good tip, I should remember it.
It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of hell. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all.
Assholes.
But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead fingers.
He gets an excited gleam in his eyes.
Fight 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila. What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
I think it'll prove useful, yes.
3 real and it's yours, friend. The deal of a lifetime.
Here's the money for the spirits.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
Bratan, I am so proud! Now, whatever you do, don't drink it! This deserves so much more than just regular oral consumption!
The tie is so on the money there. Up the bum it goes.
Huh?
Just wait for my sign. Keep it with you. Keep it warm. Keep it safe. Soon we will enter the other world.
Well, we always do what the necktie tells us. Where does it ever steer us wrong?
Soon. The time will come soon. Have patience, brave one.
I have all the patience in the world, Bratan!
I'm getting a really dark vibe from this. This won't be pretty.
So, shall we buy some speed, then? Yeah, I think we need some speed. I'm sure Kim will be fine. Sell me some speed.
Here you go, friend.
He gives you a tiny bottle with a straw. The powder looks clotted and quite mouldy.
That is unhygienic and dangerous, and it does not endear you to me. Just wanted to make that clear, okay?
Unhygienic. This stuff is very hygienic. Anything else? In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
He waves you off. I just wanted it so we could potentially bribe Kuno. The bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through. On the subject of Kuno, I did look up how you endear yourself to him without giving him drugs. Apparently, if I'd managed to punch him in the face in the first chapter, he would have respected my authority. So there you go, I was right in my attempt to punch a child. Grumbles an unshaven man with ruddy nose. He narrows his eyes at you as if in recognition, then turns his head away.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
Who's Abigail?
Uh-huh. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are she's gone. Calling her wouldn't make it any better or worse. Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk.
Who are you? What's your name?
Don't call Abigail!
Where am I? What is this place?
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible.
Why shouldn't I call Abigail?
He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer.
I lean in.
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
Okay, I guess I shouldn't call Abigail. He waves his hand as if shooing you away. Tell me about your friends. I point to the others.
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Abigail?
He whimpers in the end. Is that everything? Yeah, we walk away.
Abigail.
He whimpers softly, his voice trails off into nothingness.
Hey, tequila!
Idiot doom spiral. A 30-something man clad in a two-piece liquor trademark tracksuit puts down his pilsner and extends his hand to you in greeting.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you?
I shake his hand.
So what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Wait, tequila?
Yeah, tequila sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
Wait a sec, is this the gamer? The game's designer?
Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
I like this guy. You should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
I have re-entered reality to conquer it, to bend it to my will. I am the law.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image, a long time ago. Those days are over now.
He looks at his shit-stained liquor trademark jacket with a grim expression.
Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom's Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks.
So what do you guys do around here?
We are saving the world.
He looks at his comrades.
Please don't go. Don't go.
Begs the man in the pipe.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
What is Tequila Sunset? You keep saying it.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset.
How do you know this?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
Maybe?
Maybe. You look like you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be. You look like you want to hear the tale.
I certainly do.
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
Go ahead.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
Wait, did we meet on Friday?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head, right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
Does that sound like something you'd do? Yeah, probably. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
What happened then?
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Oh, yes you do, Bratushka! The only thing better than that is putting the pedal to the metal after you kiss the tie. And off we go!
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic.
3 men are standing on a wooden platform extending out from the shore. of a dilapidated fishing village, their cheeks red, spirits high, bears in hand, eyes glazed over.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach, you revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come, to which you replied, "The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things."
Every word I said was true. Tequila sunset will break the looms of reality.
Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to.
What else was there to do? Thank you, brothers, for your helping hand.
We asked about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
That's not my name. I'm Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. That's what you should call me.
Nah, that name sucks. You're Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
How long did we party for?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Did I tell you anything specific about the person that fucked me?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Did I mention losing anything else?
Beside your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Did I say anything about the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Did we talk about politics?
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve.
Did you get a good read on what kind of cop I was?
You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who'd cleared 501 cases.
As you've already determined, the actual number is just over 200. But what's a little embellishment between friends?
No thanks to the squares at the precinct, as you put it.
I don't need to hear anymore.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Want to tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
Yes, do you want to tell me how you became Idiot Doom Spiral?
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so incredibly familiar. You might get scammed here.
I have a feeling this is going to cost me a lot.
No, the reality of the situation requires a rather modest contribution. A little motivational package.
You want booze, don't you?
I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories without it. Dry stories are boring, you see? So, have you got anything for good old Idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
I don't have anything on me right now. You're not taking my blue magic spirits.
Then I will see you again once you've procured some. Par exemple, my good friend Rosemary here sells all kinds of stuff.
All kinds, sir. Beer and wine.
Be seeing you.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Okay, what else we got over here? Whoop. Come on. Oh, maybe I've got to go around the other way. It's just the ragamuffins over there. White curtains have been drawn shut. Nobody's looking in.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Cinder blocks, charred, a makeshift fireplace with magazines for lighting. Sounds of life in the north, a washboard scrubs filth from the fabric. Can I get round to that house over there? Can't really tell. Can he make his own way around? Ah, there is a gap in the fence there. Kazuragi just went through it. You see dust-covered linens, dried tulips on a bed. I think I already came in here last time. I remember that chair. Oh, there's a box down there I didn't get. Okay, we'll come all the way around there. Let's go and head up the beach and see what's there too. Fuck, how do we get down here? Oh, we went round. So, let's investigate the beach. So, Claudia said she buried her passport on the beach, if she's telling the truth, which could be unlikely. A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirp. There's something over there on the wash. What's he looking at? Rust-eaten letters read Mazet. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Some people on that pier. No boat in the house today. Ooh, superstar. A boat house shoddily constructed, a strong breeze might blow it over. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench, covered in rust. The sign says, Entrée interdite.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Look, King, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a general, average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why not?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Unable to piece together the big picture just now. There's a hole in their hypothesis.
I'm dumb.
The scattering of bullet holes looks like one giant smiling mouth, smiling its deadly smile, laughing at you, and the world, and the living.
Well, that was informative as always. The door is not only barred shut, it's inaccessible. Well, this might be the end of the line here. Oh, there's a box there. Let's get around the other way. Don't get stuck on the scenery. How did I get around it in the first instance? Oh, that seems to have worked. Tiny cages carefully constructed. Oh, are these my cryptozoologists? These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid, but they won't light up.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this gem.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
And a crypto-fascist, okay.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the A81.
Yeah, that was me. I broke the waterlock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now and you can go back.
You broke the waterlock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
No, it was all me. I caused you delay. I'm sorry, but you can return now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
In case you weren't aware, phantasmids and phantasmodea are stick insects. But there we go.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sort of special techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
Why are you so interested in the stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colourful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for.
No, I'm on this guy's level.
Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head.
Would be glory itself.
What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusque enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena says there's been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis? Means it can reproduce without a mate.
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Females reproducing without males? A travesty. A crime against passion and of common sense.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Tell me more about your traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed your traps?
Yes.
He says this with some pride.
More than some. He admires this about her.
How do they work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south to where Lena would be.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs, then continues.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, and come back to check on your traps later.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Where are the traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
This pursuit of knowledge is its own justification.
Is it?
He doesn't look too convinced, but the small shrug indicates, why not?
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Lay it on me thick. I present my armpit. He douses you with an odd-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and then gives a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the Whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So you're living your childhood dream out here?
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
His eyes narrow. Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No. As I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
What kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
So you've never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have proven to be real?
Yes. The Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
I nod approvingly. Then the Insulindium phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed.
He does not.
If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing.
Thanks for explaining. Now on to something else.
Yes?
Let's talk about specific cryptids.
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. Since you've offered to help, you need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
Which cryptid did you almost catch? You said before you almost caught one.
A willow person. It's a long story. one non-specialist would find rather dull.
What are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says it in a self-explanatory every day.
Very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I may have seen these willow people without even knowing it?
You probably have.
How did you almost catch a willow person?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
He smirks.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone and to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
And Lena's sighting of the phasmid, is that?
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
I know all about the kind green ape. Look, I even have a kind green ape pen.
I see you've been talking about cryptids with Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favourites.
A warm wave passes him. Of course, the kind green ape is her favourite, he thinks.
We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm, though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
What? South Safra? They're just on a different rung of the ladder, Morale. I had no problem with them.
Really? You kept complaining about how dirty everything is, but we digress.
They're a nascent culture. I just didn't feel comfortable. And let's change the topic, okay? Talk about your critters, or whatever.
He mumbles something.
Yes, back to cryptozoology. You don't want to sow disagreement between friends.
I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the gnome of Jeroma.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
He doesn't want to make it feel like you knowing it is some big deal.
Living? No.
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
The dread moose?
Yes. The dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Hold on, does it also attack people?
Human remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
Okay, what does the dread moose look like?
Just like an ordinary Arden moose.
Then how can you tell if it's the ordinary or the dread kind?
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
I'm 100% behind the dread moose. I utterly believe it exists.
Of course you do.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more. Sightings in Vasa, reaching back 4 centuries. But, of course, nothing satiates the skepticism of...
A detective. Pardon me, I did not wish to seek conflict. It's simply my training to question things.
Understood, Lieutenant.
I know about the biggest cryptid, the giant of Coco Nur.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
No.
Of course you haven't.
Have you seen it?
I haven't had a chance to travel to Coco Nord. No, and I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
I know about Cryobacteria catalensis.
Oh, everyone knows about that one, thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time.
He coughs into his fist.
A bit of jealousy there. He'd want that glory, truth be told, even if he'd have to inject himself with bacteria to get it.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nong-Ok.
The Nong-Ok?
A flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nong-Ok to run faster than any other avian, perhaps any other animal, who knows. When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ok hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor. Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When did she disappear?
Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Just tell me about a cool cryptid. Any cryptid.
No offence, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
He brushes an errant strand of hair from his eyes.
By all means.
Okay, let's go talk to Gary before they move on.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Whoa, racist.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors.
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Sadly, I think I may be a drunk or a degenerate. Maybe even both.
Dark times will do that to good men.
He nods gravely, then shifts his gaze to the pile of soggy logs at his feet.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Do you know anything about the man who was hanged behind the Whirling-In-Rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Is this your mug? I hold up the yellow man mug.
My mug? Why would you think that?
You look like the kind of guy who might have a collection of mugs like this home in his colonial mug collection.
How do you mean? Forgive me, officer, but we've only just met.
He is trying to avoid lying to you outright, in case you really have been to his apartment. He's trying not to look afraid, because that would be incriminating. Yet, he is.
You're acting kind of suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
He pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
Ooh. I am. I rip out a fine slip. For 250 real, the maximum.
Oh, God. 250? How am I gonna pay that? Okay. I'll work harder. I'll pay it off. I promise. And I'll never do it again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, a man who was hanged behind the Whirling-In-Rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, yes. And what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before. But where?
How'd you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
What's that strange sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next racist will be a really good one?
Yes.
Well, this is that racist.
Are you, Gary? Are you a racist?
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
Do you have a problem with saillites?
No. No problem at all.
He flashes an impenetrable smile at the lieutenant. So, Gary, you live nearby in an apartment in Martinez. I point in its direction.
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Have you found your door open lately?
In my home. Yes. When I was going to... How did you know?
Nothing. I just wanted to ask if your door's been unlocked lately. Now I have.
Is this about the Union? Did the big man open the door?
Don't worry, I didn't go in.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
The man looks around, whispering. He makes sure that no one hears you talk. Try not to shit yourself, Gary. It's just an open door.
What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I'm done with it. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
Let's give this a go then. Composure check. Why is he shifting around like that? Let's examine his composure.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons his shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shining underneath, a thin layer of interlocking plates covering his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth. This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Give me that armor. Now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat.
Why did you really put his clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head.
It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Why'd you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you, but...
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
Do you know who killed the hanged man?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Thanks for your cooperation. Okay, I think we went up a couple of levels during that, but I also think I've got something in this thing that I can equip. Let's go see. Yeah, bringing in the law. Law. Okay, let's load her on. See if there's any more of these I should get rid of. Actually, they're all fairly good. Okay, we have another level, guys. Pick something from the mine cabinet for me. So we could go with our psyche ones, which are our kind of main tier ones, or you can go for something weird if you want to. Entirely up to you. Info, you usually have an opinion. What do you fancy? Info says suggestion. I always ask you guys and then I don't know what row they're on anyway. Oh, there's suggestion. Okay. Another point into suggestion then. Oh, we got another one. I haven't leveled in a while. Pick another. Empathy. Bonk. Empathy as well. There we go. Good choices, Info. These heavily military blockades are riddled with bullet holes and crumbling. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything more up there. Whoop. Come on, let me look at that purple dot. One's being finicky.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
What's this about?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
Okay. A boy bobs in the water. The number says 11. Okay, thanks for that, Inland. Maybe it'll be relevant later. So we had to go back and check some of the traps for them. There it is.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
I look around.
Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidently. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows.
I reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
It'll be in the next one, surely.
Surely. Anyway, the air is nice and fresh here.
Okay. You said one was way up the coast and one was back near the car, I think. And then we go look at these ones too.
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality.
I look around.
The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow.
I reach for the trap.
This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself. Oh no, let's go for the top one. Let's keep going. The next one is the lucky one.
Yep. The next one has a crab trapped in it. These are just crab traps, you do realize.
Oh, Kim. Where's your sense of adventure? Okay, we're on the other side of that thing. So I don't think we ran up here. We should come back here when it snows. A strange feeling and it passes quickly. Okay, we found the church. I did look up how fast travel worked as well, so I know what we were doing wrong. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. I do think we should perhaps do the church in another in-game day, just because it's the last kind of sizable area to explore. Plus we kind of passed over up here, and maybe we should go back and see if we can get onto it. Just because I think there was a person on there. Oh, I don't remember exactly where it was. And now I'm stuck in the reeds. Did I look at that previously? Oh, it's where the little girl was. I'm sure I passed up here. Did I dream it? Okay, so it must have come down here. I kind of listed this way. There it is, up on that boardwalk. How do we get up there? Does that take me up? Ah, there we go. Over here first. Well, let's cover these long dusty windows. Okay, before we go around there, let's talk to the people.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
I tried to see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase.
Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside?
No. I won't even try. You know...
He takes his glasses off.
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
This partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
Can you still shoot, though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
Huh.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
Wait, what was that about windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
Do you and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching his worm-themed colouring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
What's so fascinating about an old empty building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises a hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
I look at the building looming over me.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
Wait, what's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
I don't think I've heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing at the other building, and then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? I look under my feet.
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing the gondolas rising up into the sky.
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, they even built a
pleasure wheel.
Perhaps reminded of a childhood...
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
What did revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Vom Becer dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How did those tape computers work? Do they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant. Exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Humpty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Humpty Dumpty Dum Center? He did it. He said Humpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Okay, the Humpty Dumpty Dum Center. Paul Ockerman, Keith and Guy Juiced. What are you talking about?
The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his throat.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
The RCM should get some of those.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
Have we got anything more? I wanted to ask something else.
But of course. What else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
I don't want your money. I just wanted to see whether my profiling skills were working.
Of course, Detective. I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact.
He looks up, a playful hint shining in his eyes.
I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states. Have you read it? If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, that's just a little something that sprang to mind. You were saying?
Sorry. He squeezes his son's shoulder lightly. Great, thanks for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikael here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
My god, he was boring. Right. What else we got down here? Money. Another power box. It changes nothing new. No, can't mess with those. Right. Nothing really of interest up here. Let's see what's further along the boardwalk. Get down here. Someone must have worked hard to smash that plastic dome. A dead phone, smash receiver. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. Oh, is this going to be the church? San Baron. This looks very churchy. Yeah, dusty pews. I think we found the church. An all shrouded in dark or something like that. It's too dark to tell. So like I said, we'll leave the church and whatever's on the ice. Full of holes. Could the posts hide treasure? Look inside. Come on, what's that one? Does he not want to look at that one? Oh, I think he got it. Before you a drawbridge, it can only be lowered from the other side. Skullfish huddle around the fence post and then scatter into the dark. Sorry, just trying to see what's behind the church. Not a lot, it would seem. Not a lot at all. But I'm pretty sure he said that one of the phasmid traps was kind of up from the church.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing anyway?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service what?
The washerwoman mentioned a depot at the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
Let's try to put it on the crowbar before we interact. Right, the crowbar. Oh, we got some other things to look at as well. Oh, there's nothing new to interact with. Oh, actually, we got some new stuff. So my shoes currently are +1 composure, -1 savoir-faire. Yeah, swap those. My pants, wherever they are. Negative savoir-faire +1 to electrochemistry. Kingdom of Conscience, the moralist pants. I'm very curious, we'll put those on. Savoir-faire. Oh, I don't have any glasses. Yeah, let's go with that then. +2 logic, 0-1 to perception. What's my current hat like? Encyclopedia. Yeah, we'll put the flat cap on then. If there's a flat cap. I'm really not sure what I'm wearing. Oh no, it's kind of a beanie. And there's the chest. So pain threshold and volition up, empathy down. I presume it's in place of my shirt. I think my shirt was something cool like drama though. There's drama. Okay, we'll put the armor on to be safe. Oh yeah, there was another one of these. I think we're going to have to wait till we've got enough XP to level one up. Okay. Oh, did I ever equip that? I don't think I did. No, I didn't, got distracted. Where's my crowbar?
These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party.
I like regular normal things.
I know you do. These inter-Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this, that's for sure. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be.
I did just get a trophy there for something like being the world's most laughable centralist or something. I'm going to put my old pants back on. I don't like those pants. Precious electrochemistry, come back. Right.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The
That
wind
didn't
has
help.
blown a sand dune in front of it. The door you rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Oh, the door's shut tight. How do we get in there?
We don't get in there.
What do you mean? We get into like everywhere.
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
I'm not going to accept this. The door could be part of our investigation.
Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
He looks at the door with a rueful smile. What is this thing anyway?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service what?
The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
Okay, we'll leave it alone. Seems like this ammo depot is not for me. Doesn't see anything up there. Can we look down the coast there? Oh, is that my trap? Yes.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist.
I look around.
The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the Cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
I reach the trap.
Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we are done.
His face is red from the cold sea air. He crouches to catch his breath. Are you getting tired?
No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain, it's just...
He's short-winded. The sentence ends there.
The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the Cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
Well, just the one near my car to go, I guess. The boardwalk rises to your south. It casts a long shadow over you. What's we got up here? Someone's made a campfire out here a long time ago, and the game worryingly autosaves. A rusted broken control box for the radio relay tower. The side is too rough to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. Tiny inlets off in the distance. How do I get up onto the rest of that boardwalk? You can imagine why calls become terrible sometimes. Can we get further along the boardwalk?
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
I touch it.
The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it.
I take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Why not?
It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying around enough as it is.
Thanks, Kim. A coin-operated weighing machine. It hasn't been used in a decade. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. Omega Beano prescription lenses. Postcard of Quiron 3. Makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. Habitable's a better word. There we are. A big wine canister. It's open and empty.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Hold on, that is awful. I cover my nose.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear.
Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right here.
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
I think we got a body over there. So let's go and look at this. The coin operation viewer has been out of order for years. Wait, what was the red there? It's a long way down to your death from here, 20 meters at least.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines the face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is, he's been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
I study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no. This sounds terribly familiar.
Oh no, the working class woman. I search his pockets.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
I study the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits.
I examine his face.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all. He was just about to head home. The first step back home proved to be his last.
I study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist.
I examine the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop, when he was unconscious. It took 3, maybe 4 minutes.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
No, just the one at the back of his head.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
I step on the floorboards.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet.
I examine the bottle.
A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
I examine the chewing gum wrapper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
I look in.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. A young father. Then he shakes his head to make the memory stop.
I step back.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south, the way you came.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working-class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
We know who this is. It's the working-class woman's missing husband, dead on the boardwalk.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
The leather jacket. It matches her description perfectly.
The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband.
What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Could it be related to the lynching?
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Yes, but what if there's a killer on the loose? 2 suspicious deaths in such a short time frame.
You're right, connecting with the lynching is a stretch.
Without any further evidence, yes.
You think he was drunk? I pointed at the bottle.
Oh, yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
What about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the Pox.
Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
He smiles sourly.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What should we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
Hold on, what about a field autopsy?
A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
You're right. I don't see anything criminal here. Let's leave it at that. Oh, nah. Yes, but isn't that kind of sloppy?
Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare.
No,
The guys at
won't do it.
processing will take care of the rest.
We found him. We should finish this. I take the case.
All right. We should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station for my kinema.
Wrong button. Okay, the library card we found. No, that's the postcard. This is library card. Must be that thing in there. Interact with the folded library card.
The library card is folded into 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53.
I look inside.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
I look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 900 to 1800.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
I put it away. Okay. I think we should go and try and sing some karaoke and solve this case. And then that'll probably be it for the day. But let's go. So, I found out how you fast travel. There are only literally 3 points on the map you could do it for, and you have to be standing in one of them to activate it. So I believe we got a fast travel at the church. So if we head back there, we should be able to fast travel to the Whirling to save time. So here we are outside the church. See if we can get it working. There we are, there's our fast travel. So we want to go to the Martinez waterfront. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There. Okay, so where's Kim's car?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment.
You can hear her shuffling through some papers.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
Unidentified middle-aged male. Looks like he slipped and fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head on a metal bench.
The man was about 173 centimeters tall, stout, with dark hair and a mustache. We suspect he might have been inebriated when he slipped. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, it seemed like it was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
She repeats.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card in one of his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone called Billy Majon.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes, connect me to Jamrock Public Library.
I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
We should try again during business hours.
Anything else, Detective?
Okay, we'll go do it again in the morning.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
There we go. Right, it's evening now. We should see about karaoke. Or at least I'd say 7:10 counts as evening, right? We've got a few more people in here. Oh.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I ran into your husband on the coast.
Goodness. How is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
The old woman clasped her hand together over the blanket.
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken. Now he's just finishing up somewhere.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. He's bound to catch a cold staying out there for so long. But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, if even a little.
You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging body's foul. Her heart won't rest until Morel is safely back with her.
You never told me you'd seen the Phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
No, I really want to know.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel. We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face. He said my descriptions matched the phasmid down to a T. Its white marble limbs, the way it moved.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
You're on a date?
Our first, yes.
The old woman sighs tenderly. Its limbs are white?
Not all of them, as far as I remember. Some of them on the inside like stalks of marble, if that makes sense.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notebook and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
I'm not going to suggest she imagined it, 'cause I don't believe that. I want to believe in cryptids. Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
Okay, just remind me, we haven't checked the final trap. Let's do that quickly so I don't forget. And also buy another slot because I have another ability I want to learn. So we got... it's the Wompty Dumpty Dum. So, using the power of fast travel. Let's just go and check that last trap. So, we want to get, I think, over to near where my car was. Shit, if I can remember how to get down there. This is a staircase, yes it is. Okay, so it said it was over near a dune on the coast. Seems the walker was either confused or drunk out of his mind. Okay, can we see anything that looks like a trap? So there's my car.
This is it. The scene of the party. The fire pit. Cigarettes and empty bottles all evidence it.
Yeah, sure does look like a lot of folks partied here.
Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Hey Kim, it looks like we've got a couple of partygoers here.
Looks like it.
Looks like they had a great time laughing here.
Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses.
Somehow, he doesn't want to dwell on it.
Okay, I'm not sure why the camera's got stuck like that. It's kind of weird. No, I'm really not sure why the camera's got stuck like that. Come on, let's move away. There we are. There we are. At least we unstuck it there. Okay, where the hell are my phasmids? Okay, here's a lock. You mentioned it was close to there, I think. Is that it? Yeah. Gotcha.
It takes you a moment, but finally you spot the last of Morel's traps. This one's partially obscured by the reeds.
I look around.
The reeds bend forlornly toward the water. Some tufts have been crushed. The broken stalks sickly pale against the darkness. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold.
I reach for the trap.
The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here.
I look closer.
No locust. No phasmid either. But still.
It's empty.
Your voice echoes on the coast, carried by a gust of cold wind.
I look closer still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an empty trap.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
But what if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out?
Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologist to figure out now. We're not cryptozoologists. We're cops.
Okay, that's that. So, all that's left is the karaoke for tonight. And that is the most important thing of all. So let's quickly race back up the road. Hey, what's that? Le Orange du Disco. Okay, folks, it's time. Oh, is her husband back?
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now.
I knew it.
You hear Kim say quietly to himself.
I'm not surprised. It's already getting out of hand.
Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mesk in origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull, with 8 eyes.
You know,
Of course, officer.
See if she's got any we haven't heard.
Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about?
Is the bird a cryptid? I point to the tie she gave me.
No. It's the cryptid.
Wow, the cryptid?
Oh, yes.
Okay, what is the bird?
The 8-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until?
Until it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
Okay, I need to hear about this sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Then what happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
Eat the bird, Uwe. It's the only way to survive.
It followed him?
More like he followed it. A bird that big has many liters of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall, where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Then the Tetatorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back. Every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
How did he survive to tell the story?
The 8-eyed Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird? Fuck yes.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
So was that the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know? I'm glad you like them.
Okay, guys, it's time for the karaoke, I feel. It has autosave, but I'm going to save the game as well. Just in case I do something horribly wrong here.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
It's drama. How high can I get my drama? Let's just look at my inventory first. Right, do I have any more drama clothes I can put on? Rhetoric, logic, retro. Sorry, Necktie, we might have to temporarily replace you. I'll remember to put Necktie back on though. Drama shirt. Okay.
The stage, you feel...
So, are you ready for your thing now?
Well, it's
Let
pretty
me know when I
close.
should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Let's try.
The air is thick with anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
I would often go there to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-Saëns, though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, often stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
I'd like to dedicate the song to Garter for letting me sing it. It's all shit, Garter.
Yes, well, I'm just doing my job, that's all.
Your words caught him by surprise.
But, are you done now? Can I unplug the microphone? I'd like to unplug the microphone.
Thank you, Martinez. Right, before I do anything else, let's put my armor back on. So we need horrible Necktie wherever he's gone. There's horrible Necktie. And there's my curious. It makes a little ting when you put it on. So curious, Necktie back. I'm pretty sure that was Necktie. Yeah, can't leave Necktie behind.
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
Yeah, the church is actually my past.
Cool. Now, what can I do for you?
God, I found a new bird for the whirling. I give him the ruffed grouse.
What is this thing?
It's no biggie, I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
People just don't know how to accept gifts, especially taxidermy. He likes it. He likes the bird. It solves his broken bird problem.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Right, I am going to save the game, and that's a good stopping place. I think I've wrapped up a lot of the little subquests there that I kept forgetting about. So, next time, I think while we're here in the Whirling, we'll go up and talk to Klaji again. Now I've got my ID, I also want to see if I can get into that apartment building where the woman keeps saying I'm not allowed in, because I still haven't figured that one out. But anyway, that's it for tonight. Thanks for bearing with me again. My name is Kim, or Camber42. My main stream is live Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 PM GMT and Saturdays at 5 PM GMT, where I'm currently playing Yakuza 4 Remastered on PlayStation 4. This is my game on the side, just as and when I have a couple of free hours. If you follow the Camber42 Twitter or Blue Sky accounts, I'll always give you the heads up when I'm going to play, in case you want to join me, offer advice, level my character, whatever you fancy. I also have an Camber42 YouTube channel where old episodes are put up usually within a day of them airing here, in case you want to catch up on the plot of Disco Elysium so far, or any of the previous games I've played, because I've got varied tastes and there's a lot on there now, including Yakuza Kiwami, Kiwami 2, Yakuza 3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon, Danganronpa 1 and 2, Bugsnax, Dredge, Goodbye Volcano High, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Code Vein, One Piece Odyssey, Cyberpunk 2077. Do check them out if you're interested. I'm also one half of Things Are Getting Strange in X-Files Rewatch Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes go up on a Thursday, 8 PM GMT. We're reviewing the X-Files 2 episodes at a time. We're currently on Season 9, and our next episode will cover Lord of the Flies and Trust No One. So do check that out if you're interested. And if you can afford to do so, please also consider supporting our Patreon. Helps keep the lights on and gives you access to things you can't get anywhere else, including a full Let's Play of the 1998 X-Files FMV game on the original PlayStation. That's all for tonight. Again, thanks for bearing with me. If I don't see you for more Disco Elysium before, I'll be back Saturday, 5 PM GMT, with the next part of Yakuza 4. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.